Our next panelist is Shane. Shane, you are, as I mentioned before, you're representing the, I wouldn't say the unwashed masses because that's too philosophical, but you're representing, really a very large audience of users who provide you constant feedback on smart locks. So let's talk about it from when you look at your followers and what you're hearing. What are some of the most common features you're looking for, and how does the ULTRALOQ family address those concerns?
Okay, so I think the things that they're looking for the most, it's anything that make it super easy to use. So, like you were saying earlier, I'm a dad, so I've got kids, and I need for my 10-year-old to be able to operate the smart lock. I also need for, I'm 36, so I'm getting to that age where our parents, they're aging, so they need to be able to use it as well when they come over. One of the features that I really like about the ULTRALOQ is also the one-time use code. So Airbnbs are huge right now. Short-term rentals are huge. Just being able to give that one-time short-term use code that can be used and then it's taken away. I think that's really interesting and awesome. The fingerprint scanner is also just something that anybody can use if you can program the fingerprints in there for that person. And whenever we install the new one, I had the kids to line up, and then we'll just program all the fingerprints, and then from that point on, everybody has their fingerprints, and everybody can very easily use that. I think the one app integration, so the one app for all the different features, I think that's something else that they're looking for. I don't want to have to use an app for just the lock and then just the lights and just the vacuum. I do want everything to be integrated together, and I think that's what my audience is looking for as well, just lots of integration.
So, going down that path, what is the thing that you're hearing most from a concern or challenge standpoint? I mean, all these products are wonderful. They do. I think they can change your lives in many ways, but there's always concerns that people have. The folks in this room, particularly the folks on stage here, we're very familiar with products. We get, our homes look like Best Buy because we're always installing and testing different products, and that's true, by the way. But the question really is for you, Shane, is that from a concern or challenge standpoint, what kind of things come to mind in terms of before I make that decision step to go out and buy a smart lock? What are some of the challenges that you hear?
Okay, so I think the main challenge that people first think of, the traditional key lock, it always works. Like it's never going to not work unless you break the key. And so battery life, I think, is very important. And I love the fact that this doubles the battery life from the previous version. And we're getting up to a full year. So that's a whole year where you don't really have to worry about when my kid gets home, the latchkey kid, when they get home, is it going to have enough juice to unlock? You just don't have to worry about it. Once you set it up, you're good to go for a full year. And then you're going to get those notifications to let you know that, hey, you're running out of juice. Now, if you're irresponsible like me, then maybe it does run out of juice. But hopefully you'll be more responsible and replace the batteries. And then just the security, I think, is a main concern for most people. Like you had mentioned earlier, by now we're mostly used to being able to use our fingerprints. Everyone knows Apple, so that's a no-brainer. I trust Apple. I'll use the fingerprint there. I think just knowing where your information's going, like your fingerprint, your passcodes, things of that nature, I think it's really important that these are so secure. I think that's the main concern.
So let's pretend for a moment that you're speaking directly to the product development team at u-tec. And I suspect whatever answer you're going to give, that feedback is going to find its way to them. What kind of things would you suggest? What kind of, at a high level, in terms of what to focus on? I think it's remarkable that ULTRALOQ is going down the different color path. That's more of an aesthetics thing, but let's face it. People are putting these in their homes, and it does matter. I mean, Apple figured that out a long time ago. But if you had to give them advice on one or two things and what things you'd like to see them focus on going forward, what would it be?
Okay, so back to the one app for everything. I love the fact that we have the lights and the cameras that are coming. The people that watch my content, they want everything to work together cohesively. So if I open my one app, I should be able to access the lock, the cameras, the lights, the vacuum cleaner, everything together. I think that is one thing that people really want, and just having that cohesion is definitely a main thing that I think that everybody's looking for.